Good almost afternoon movement snackers. It's my turn on the 12 noons for all of this week. And so I'm Kelsey Leverton and I'm here on the noontime movement snack. And this is Monday the 14th of September. And this is the first movement snack of the week for our 12 noons. And our second one overall. And we are aiming to bag more movement minutes out of your daily goings abouts. That's our motion, that's our method, that's our main aim. So who's on board with me today? Catcher-uppers, we'll catch you upper later, or livers, live-o-live-os. We've got Maddie in. Good afternoon, Maddie. I'm just going to go with the good afternoons. We're a little bit indecisive on whether we should be greetings with good mornings or greeting with good afternoons. But we'll have a good afternoon. We might as well. It's 5-2 or a little bit less now. So first on the movement register is Maddie. Second, a kind of real close call, that one. Lynn, you're in second. Hello and welcome. Hopefully you're feeling good. I believe you were properly engaged with Bex's movement snack this morning. So you'll have two in a bed, won't you, after this one? Maddie, hello Kelsey and everyone. Just caught up with Bex. Okay, so you're double snacking right now. So you've done the starter, you're on the main, but you've not spreaded it out. Good stuff. So, feeling autumnal today. It's mid-September, isn't it? And normally around this time of the year, I will declare scrump season open. Now, I have mentioned scrumping before. Now, I reckon a lot of you may well know what scrumping is. It's the art of going out and coming home with a booty of normally apples, but it could be apples, pears, blackberries, anything else that's scrumpable. It could be sloe berries. And these days we can't do illegal scrumping because it used to be illegal, didn't it? But we do, well, if your tree's overhanging, then it's scrumpable and it's not pinching. Mrs. P's in and Vivian's here as well. Hello, good afternoon to you too. It's telling me that you're watching and it's asking if I want to bring you onto the camera. Rest assured, I won't do that. But there is an option, so I don't know, we might have to try it one day. What you been up to this morning then, people? Have any of you been harvesting some of the stuff out of your garden? I know, who was it? I think it was Odile who said that potato picking has begun in her garden. So hopefully some of the movements in today's movement snack will link in to some of the skills and movements that you need to put into place if you are, for example, scrumping apples or pears or anything else. So reaching, bending, stretching, those kinds of things will be here in our movement snack today. Who else is saying hello? Loads of washing done by Vivian on the line. Great. It's supposed to be about 30 degrees, isn't it, coming up? It was Mrs. P got a story with us. Went scrumping as a child with cousins in Hereford. Got chased off by the farmer. Yes. Fast running required. Jill's in. Hello, Jill. I don't think we've met on the lives before. I'm not sure whether you've been doing some catcher-uppering, but welcome to the live show today. If you're quite new to movement snacking, you might want to just have a look through. We are fast forwardable, not on the lives though, on the catch-ups. We're fast forwardable and rewindable and pausable on those. So you might want to have a look today. Do what you feel is okay for you. There's lots of choices here for standing and seated, and pick what feels right for you. Bex is saying all right to a Ma. Hello, Marlin. And plausible. Pausable. Red Rita's in. How are we doing for time, people? Oh, Mrs. P, you've done some of the worst jobs there. Gardening's not too bad. Changing the bedclothes, not great. They're proper arm achy stuff, that. Red Rita, I'm not going to pronounce that. But I will look at the translation a little bit later. Right, we're on a go, go, go. So sweep the comments to the side if you like. Here we are with a 3, 2, 1. Good afternoon and welcome. It's officially 12 noon. You're here with me, Kelsey Leverton, in the quite lovely Leicestershire countryside today. And it's Monday the 14th of September. So we're definitely having that autumnal type weather creeping in. Crisp, bright, lovely. So some of these movements in today's snack will link into the harvesting / or scrumping that you might be taking part in the coming weeks. Let's get go with our Circ Boost. Let's get that out the way. So I've got my chair set up in it a slightly different way today, so hopefully it won't end up getting in my way. Standing or sitting tall, make some adjustments to your posture. Small adjustments but sustainable adjustments. Nothing that makes you too uncomfortable with your posture. If you're in the seat and you're all the way back, just bring yourself into an active posture from there. So switching on your posture muscles, lengthening through. If you like, take a few hip walks forwards, shifting the weight from side to side and bringing your feet forwards as well. You can see there's right angles at the hips. Let's start down. Ankles, knees, hip, right angles. Lift lengthening. Hold it there for a moment. Just feel your way around that changed posture. In standing, same here with the postural tweaks. Weight evenly spread over both your feet. Posture tweak, weight over feet. Holding on if you feel better, holding on to some support. Make sure that that support's stable, reliable, it's not going anywhere, it's fixed to the wall, or it's quite heavy. We're heel pumping at the moment, seated or standing. If today you want to just stick with some upper body movements, then bring in an arm swing, and that can be with both arms together or just focusing on one side at a time, just taking that through a few swings there before changing sides. If in seated and standing you've been doing the heel pedals and you want to bring your knees up a little bit higher, that will enable your feet to clear the floor. Have a go at pointing the toes down. So pointing the toes down as you pick your feet up. That way we can ensure the landing works not only just through the ankles, knees and hips, but through the feet as well, the toes. Creasing across the toes as we land down and really rolling through the toes, the ball and the heel of the foot. Take a pause there if you like. If you want to keep your legs moving, then feel free to do so. Some of you might prefer, as you add an arm swing in, to just do so one at a time. Now to change arms, if I've got the support to the side, I might have to turn around. In fact, I've got my radiator here, so I can just turn around and take hold of the radiator, which isn't switched on yet, because we're not in the dead of winter. Swinging from the shoulders, in seated, standing positions. Now, if you want to switch this up a little bit in the seated position, then take hold of the hands in front of you and then draw the elbow back, bringing the hands towards the hip. Now you will be trunking the twist a little bit there, or twisting the trunk, whichever way you prefer to say it, and it just gives you a bit more of something to include for the top half other than just keeping going with the arm swings. If in seated or standing you want to head into bringing all of those combinations together. So opposite arm to leg swing in seated or in standing. You may just have your legs going and the one arm on the arm swing. And this is a steady, rhythmical pace to what feels good for you. So hopefully not too fast or too slow. Circulation booster. Take a pause there. So bring everything down to a stop. And there we have your circ boost. So hopefully that's just got some movement going into your joints, got some warmth going, got the blood flowing a little bit faster, loosened some of the joints as well. And here we are ready to go into our first option for movement snacking. If you're in standing, come and have a sit down. So back up and reverse to your seat. Take a controlled sit down, sitting your bum back first and lowering without a plonk in sight. Hip walking forwards if you can. So here we're going to focus on just using the muscles around the centre of our body, including around the back as well. As when you get out scrumping, picking, there's going to be a lot of bending and lifting, bending and picking stuff back up again. So here, this focuses on what our trunk can do to help facilitate any kind of lifting actions. So place your hands onto your knees end of the thigh. Sitting tall, pressing the shoulders down. We're going to return back to this position in a moment. Now, we've been talking a bit about creating your own tension, and this is what we're aiming to do here, but with the muscles around the middle. The movement looks like this. We're going to lean forwards, so press forwards, and then push back. So you're controlling, elbows are in at this point, the lean forwards and the press back through your arms, but you're trying to resist it. So your arms are quite straight and strong there, and you're going to push, 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 whilst pulling the tummy muscles in, and push, 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 but you're resisting. You might feel it in your arms as well, actually. So have a go at that. Try not to hold your breath. What you're aiming to do is suck, brace the tummy muscles by just drawing the tummy button back towards your spine. It's not a breathe in, it's a tension that we're creating around our centre. Now, you could just do this leaning forwards and sitting back, but it's a much more controlled action with switching the muscles on. You should feel it in your arms a little bit too, but certainly around your abdomen, around the lower back area. Might be starting to just ache a little bit, or certainly you'll feel those muscles switching on. Hold it there. Take a pause. Okay, in seated, we're going to build on this movement that we've just done by adding in a reach. So you might want to just tuck your feet back a fraction, but do keep them flat on the floor. Take one arm onto your thigh, that's your support side. Reaching as far as you can down to the ground, and then recovering back up as you were doing with that movement previously, and then changing sides. It doesn't matter if you can't reach down to the floor fully, just go as far as you can and recover, switching all of those muscles on here. We're going to do a little something in standing, slightly different, which does involve a reach, but here's your first bit first. Holding on to your support wherever it is. Feet hip distance apart, and you're going to come up, 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 slowly lifting the heels and arranging your weight over your big toe and the second toe, and then lower back down with the brakes on. So slow to lift and just that even slower to lower. have a few goes at that. So you should be feeling that around the calf area, and it helps with your ankles as well. So bring in some strength sensations and some muscular contractions around your calf, around your ankle, and it also works into the foot somewhat as well. So up, 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 try and get as high as you can, even workload through right side, left side, slowly lower. So those heels kiss the floor rather than plonk down or end up with you rocking down. Here's where our reach comes in. Now, I've strategically placed some apples onto the side here. So I'm going to do my heel lift, take my first apple, well that's quite easy to pick up. I'm going to reach up even further to pick up my second apple and bring it down. There's a little bit of shelf scrumping for you. In the seat, if you want to change that to a forwards reach, if you need to take a few seconds to rest, relax your posture off, switch the muscles on just before switching them, switch the muscles off before switching them back on. Oh look, there's another apple scrump. Then please do. Right, so we've got some reaching in standing with a heel raise, and it can be a high, a medium size reach for you. Here we're going to change it up a little bit and just work on the fronts of thighs. So we'll do seated first. So in seated, here's your option. Tucking the feet back if you're aiming for a jockey lift. Now a jockey lift is kind of a preparation to bring yourself into a standing position. So this may be an option if that's one of your aims, is to bring yourself into a standing position a bit more often. So here we've got that good strong posture in place that we've been practicing just now. A lean forwards, just a tilt forwards from the hips. Press the feet into the ground and you're trying to boost yourself off your seat. Engaging the muscles of the legs and engaging the muscles in your bum as well. So a small tilt forwards but lengthening your posture, pressing the heels down. If that feels enough, stick, because those muscles are really switching on now. But if you can, boost into a bit of a jockey lift there. Now for those of you who want something a little bit different, then you've got the option to press the feet into the floor, and that in turn will switch on muscles. But you could alternatively just focus on squeezing the buttocks. And if you look at my head height when I'm relaxed, and then my head height as I squeeze, it should lift up. You should feel yourself just lifting up and then coming back down in your seat. So lots of different options there in seated, and work between some of them. Few bum squeezes, few leg presses perhaps, and maybe a few jockey lifts as well. Standing, we're going to go for the good old knee bend. So feet hip distance. We're going to sit the bum back. So this is as you would start to lower into your seat and then pressing back through. Now it's up to you how low you go into your knee bend. Try and make the emphasis on the hips sitting back. The heels are flat down, and as you get to a point when you're ready to recover, push the heels into the floor with a little bit more strength and drive up. Here's the combination for you in standing. You might want to take up support with something in front of both of your hands. Here's your knee bend. Here's your dig of the heels and drive up. Here's our heel raise And there's our reach. Lowering back down, arm recovering back down, and then heading off again. In seated, here's your combination. So we've got our feet tucked back if that feels good for you. Hands supporting just on the one side. We've got a low reach and a pull back. Then we can have a reach forwards and a pull back. Then we can have either a jockey lift, a foot press to switch on here, or a bum squeeze. And have a go at maybe a couple of those. It's up to you. Take that round again. So we've just done all of those movements in singular, on its own, basic, and now we can put them into a functional sequence, even with a reach down if you like. Get the weight over the big toe and the one next door to it. Reach, reach, reach as high as you can. Remember to have a go at that with the other side as well in a moment. Sit in the bottom right back, so you should feel the weight in your heels somewhat there. We've got quite a bit of core targeted work here. We did a forwards reach, didn't we? And recover. And then we did either a bum squeeze, pushing the feet into the floor but not actually lifting off, or a jockey boost. And there we have a bit of a combination there for you. Just going to get the rest of my apples. I tell the kids off for leaving apple cores etc. around the house, so I'm going to get busted if I don't clear up my apples. So these are the apples from my garden. I might dry them later in my dehydrator, so I've got some nice apple rings to put in the kids' lunchbox. Well, if Neve ever goes back to school, that is. So there's your 12 noon movement snack of the day. I hope some of those feel good for you. There's lots of options there, remember, take them up. Lots of functional specific movements there that we can actually make a bit more of as we do them in any activities of our daily life. Today, tomorrow, the next day, forever. There you have it. Movement snack number 2 done for today. I'll see you tomorrow at 12 noon and you've got the lovely Dave at 4 p.m. Catch you later all. Have a super afternoon.